Yo, hang on 1 second. I can't hear you. I don't hear you at all. Sorry, I can't hear. Can't hear you at all. Can you hear me?
Okay. Oh, wow. I think I was on mute the entire time. Wow.
Welcome to the podcast. You might recognize me. I'm Aaron the dog, and I'm currently doing this podcast from my phone. My laptop broke today,
Ah, damn it. You look
but
good
it's all
though.
good. Yeah, thank you. I'll try to stay in frame here, and my arm will be tired by the end. But what's up, everybody? I guess he was on mute the whole time, so
I was going into a whole, recap of everything, but yeah, I was on mute. Great way to start this episode, guys. But with that said, let's add our guest, Mr. Christian Ynastrilla. What's up, man? How's it going?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Other than being on mute here for the first 2 minutes of the show, going through the whole motions here, introducing everything, and then noticed no one can hear me. So that's other than that, we're going good.
so far so good.
Yeah, I was in pretty smooth Monday.
So what's up, man? I need to know what's going on. Like how's it going with training and getting ready for your upcoming fight, right?
Yeah, everything's going good. Getting ready for another fight on Titan on December 18th, and yeah, pretty much just working hard. Trying to fix some mistakes and just try to get better each day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just December 18th, the next time I get to fight.
All right, December 18th. Can you give us a little bit more about what's going on with your training? What are you gearing towards? Looking into have you really game plan against your opponent yet?
I don't have an opponent yet, so I'm just pretty much right now trying to improve my all around MMA game, trying to improve the wrestling, the grappling, the striking, just improve everywhere. There's an opponent that I have in mind that I would like to fight, but I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. My manager is trying to figure that out, and then if not, I'll just fight whoever they put in front of me, and that's pretty much about it right now. But waiting on an opponent right now. That's pretty much it.
Oh, so you're locked into the date. We're just waiting on for someone to give them to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, but so who's on your mind though? I want to know that.
Uh, should I say the name?
I think you
No,
should.
yeah, the guy. Yeah, the guy that I'm kind of looking at and I would like to fight is Nate Williams. I know he's a guy that's like a 50 fight veteran, and that's someone that I'm looking at and I would like to fight. I guess we'll see what happens if that gets to happen or not, but that's
That
who
would be
I'd
a good
like to fight.
fight. I think it'd be a great fight actually. Um, but yeah,
I mean, this is a surprise to me. I mean, we're looking at like the Contender Series this week that we're breaking down, and some of these fights weren't made till a couple weeks ago. So this is the top of the top. I mean, this is just the MMA. This is how the sausage is made early on. Is it's a lot of short notice replacements. I think it's a lot more about you improving yourself to where whoever you're going in there against, especially early on in your career. So all the best to you on December, and I know you've been in there grinding with a lot of good guys still, you know, and so that's just all you can really look for right now. And then we'll see what the opponent, but I'm sure the opponent isn't as important right now as just getting back in there and making some corrections from your last
Yeah,
fight. But
of course.
this is what happens. You're healthy enough to make a turnaround again of another fight before the end of the year. These are the things that are really important at the end of the day. So thank you again for being on with us. And yeah, hopefully, I know you got some thoughts on at least a few of the fighters fighting tonight. So
Yeah. There's definitely some guys that I've trained with and things like that. So I'm pretty
yeah,
heartbroken for my boy Landon Quinones, but I know hopefully he'll get a shot again soon. But yeah, other than that, yeah, there's some other guys on the card that I'm pretty aware of.
yeah.
so why did Landon had to withdraw from the fight?
Because of COVID. So yeah, a pretty unfortunate situation. COVID's been kind of screwing up a lot of things. But yeah, he tested negative. All the way leading up to the fight. But one of these last tests that he tested positive. So with COVID, there's no fight. So
Mhm.
Damn, that's fucking rough. That's been happening crazy lately. So I mean, hopefully he gets back on either another Contender Series shot or short notice at some point. So, but with that said, let's get right down to the breakdown. That's what people are here for, to get this money with us. All right. So, first fight up is in the bantamweight division between Danny Sabatello and Taylor Moore. Right now, Sabatello is the biggest favorite on the card, as I thought he would be, minus 515. And the comeback on Taylor Moore is a plus 375 underdog. We'll start with Christian, because I know you've trained with this man. What are your thoughts?
Man, Danny Sabatello, he's a guy that I've got into train with, a couple times at American Top Team Coconut Creek, and I get to watch him a lot of the times too. And it's really crazy to watch someone like him that's not even signed yet. He's wrestling with and grappling and just doing everything with some of the best guys in the world, and he's giving them problems. Right now he's just building up the experience and things like that. But I think he's really, since that loss to Irwin Rivera, I think he's really been rounding out his game a lot. And I think I was watching a little bit of Taylor Moore. He has some good footwork and some good kicks. But I don't think he's ever dealt with someone with the grappling credentials that Danny has. And Danny's very good chain wrestler, and he can put you down to the ground over and over again. I just see, honestly, Danny picking him apart and kind of just taking him down when he wants to. And I think he's going to finish him probably in the second round.
I like it. My man, Aaron, you're on the same boat here?
I mean, yeah, for the most part, yeah. I mean, I've gotten to talk with a few people who've gotten to train with him particularly, and definitely rave about his wrestling. You can see it in a lot of his fights. He hasn't fought the craziest amount of competition. That is honestly the one aspect I'm a little concerned about here. Irwin Rivera was that competition, but he was beating Rivera for the most part up until he kind of gassed out there. I believe it was the fourth round as well of their fight, right? Yeah. So there's no fourth round in this fight. And the guy he's fighting is no Irwin Rivera. So this isn't rocket science to me. I think it's Sabatello, and this is a guy, frankly, I think he should finish, and he will look to finish. So I see a finish. I'll go around second round submission, but yeah.
I knew that Danny Sabatello was going to be the biggest favorite on this card. I said it like a week or two ago when I knew it was announced. I mean, that was just a sure thing because, I mean, he's 8-1. He's looked phenomenal over at Titan FC. His grappling, like you guys said, is just phenomenal. And I mean, I don't think Taylor Moore really has fought anyone even on the level of Danny Sabatello even at the level of Irwin Rivera either. So, I think he goes in there and beats him and finishes in round one, to be honest with you. I think he's going to go in there, take him down, just ground and pound, and that's it. That's all she wrote. It's going to be simple, easy. Unfortunately, the line of minus 515 is kind of almost unplayable. Maybe if your book will gets over unders, I think the under 1.5 or whatever the under is, I think that's going to be a solid play because the fight doesn't go to a decision, is a minus 170. So you're looking at a probably under 1.5 type of line. And I would definitely take the under 1.5. I think that's going to be a solid play. I think he finishes him within the first few minutes of the fight.
Okay. Well,
all right.
Easy enough.
Next up in the women's strawweight division, we have a fight between Luana Pinheiro and Stephanie Fausto. All right. That's going to be interesting. Luana is a minus 285 favorite, and the comeback on Stephanie is a plus 225 underdog. Star Aaron.
All right. So I know that this Frausto girl is Zola Frausto's sister, I believe. Other than that, I don't know too much about her. She's been pretty inactive over the last few years, and just overall in her MMA career, she's 8-6. So she has a lot of experience. That's one way of putting it. But she seems to have some gas issues, and just overall, I think that Luana takes this one probably by decision. But I think should be able to outstrike and outmaneuver Frausto here to a pretty easy decision. Able to keep it on its feet.
All right, Christian, what do you got?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with Aaron, at least from what I've seen of both of them. She has been pretty inactive. And I feel like she's just the more well-rounded fighter, at least everywhere, like on the feet and the grappling department. So yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty easy decision for her, at least from what I see right now.
For Luana, yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much have to agree with you guys here. I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's really not much else really to say. I really didn't do too much homework on this fight to begin with because it's minus 285. I really want to take any low level women's MMA on Contender Series at minus 285. But you're looking at a girl that's 8-6 too coming into the Contender Series. Yeah, she's got a lot of fights, but she's 8-6. You know, she's lost to regional competition, a lot of regional competition. So that's never a good sign coming into the Contender Series. So yeah, I got Luana probably by decision as well. So the over 2.5 rounds will probably the line right now for it to go to a decision is actually plus 165.
Well, I mean, Frausto has had some trouble in the fights I've been able to watch of getting the full 15, just from a cardio perspective. So I think that maybe this is one of these where it's hard to see a way of it going 15 just with the way she needs to fight in order to win. But I don't know. It's just one I'm not planning on betting anything on, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's she's been finished in 4 of her 6 losses. It's just like split down the middle, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. So does not bode well whatsoever for her. All right. Next up in the lightweight division, this is gonna be a good fight between Joseph Lowry and Nicholas Mota. I believe that's how you say his name. Right now, I think it's a fairly evenly matched fight. Mota is minus 170 favorite, and the comeback on Lowry is a plus 140 underdog. Christian, who you got in this one?
This was one fight I wasn't able to look too much at, but from the little bit I saw Lowry was previously on the Contender. I think Mota was on the Ultimate Fighter Brazil, I believe it was. But at least from what I saw from Mota, I was pretty impressed with him. And Lowry, you know, he's a pretty good fighter too. I think just from at least from what I've seen, the couple fights that I saw from both of them, I'm gonna have to lean a little bit towards Mota. I feel like he's a little more crisp in the striking, and I think he's gonna probably be able to get the job done from what I see.
Aaron, who you got, my man?
So I think this is kind of one of these fights here. Last week, I believe, on the LFA or one of the smaller cards, maybe it was a Titan card, Ty Clark was fighting a guy who was 9-5, kind of a gritty Cody Gibson, I believe is his name.
Yes.
And I'm getting similar vibes in this matchup here. Lowry pretty much everywhere is less sharp, less explosive, less powerful, but Lowry's got that kind of crafty, gritty, wins a lot of fights, particularly on lower regional scenes than he's supposed to. This is one where I could see Mota really going in there balls to the walls in that first round, not getting the finish he was expecting out of Lowry. Lowry taking a lot of shots, being behind after one round, and then coming back and taking this one and kind of being able to outlast and outgrit here and get – I could see even a late finish by Lowry. But I'm going to take the underdog here with a third round finish. It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, this is a very evenly matched fight, to be honest with you. Other than, you know, Lowry facing Devontae Smith, he really hasn't fought the best of competition. You look at Mota, he's fought Juan Gonzalez, Robert Hale. He also fought Glyco Franca. Granted, he lost to two of the 3 of those guys.
It's still experienced though, and it's still I mean, Lowry looked really bad against Devontae Smith. Those shots he was taking were really desperate.
Yeah, I mean, and I've seen Mota fight. I think it was a fight against Juan Gonzalez. And mind you, these 2 guys are CFFC veterans too. They both fought for Cage Fury Fighting Championship. So it's gonna be right up their alley. It's gonna be so evenly matched. If I had to choose, I'd probably go with Mota, but it's definitely not a fight that I want to go and bet on. It's not. I'm not about it. All right. Next up, this is a new fight at 160 pounds between Shaheen Santana and Nathan Levy. Right now, Levy on, I would say, about 48 hours notice, is a minus 140 favorite. And the comeback on Santana is a plus 110 underdog. Aaron, who do you got?
So I was able to go back and watch all of Levy's fights. And he looks very good at some points in his fights, but other than his LFA debut, he's gotten hit pretty hard in each of his fights. And he was put away against Lugo. That fight should have been stopped. It was at least a 10-8 second round, but Ray Lugo, he put him away 2 or 3 times in that second round, and that referee decided not to go in there. Levy did go to some kind of instinctual wrestling and was able to hang on there, and ended up getting a majority decision that should have been a draw probably. But he got that, and that was only a month or so ago. And then to take this fight on short notice, it's at 160 pounds. I wasn't able to see enough.
It's what the crazy part is. He fights at 145. He's not going to 155. He's going to 160.
But I'm telling you, he was dying at 145. Levy was not going to be at 145 for much longer in his career, regardless. So I think that is a huge positive for him in this fight, because I think he'll have the gas to be able to wrestle and just position against Shaheen for 3 rounds. I don't see a finish in this fight. And I do think that early on is when Shaheen has his best chance to win, because Levy has shown the propensity to get rocked and hurt in 2 of his 3 fights that I was able to watch. But I think overall he's going to have the extra gas with the 15-pound lack of cut here. The game plan is going to be to do what he does well, which is to grapple, period. So he's going to be shooting early and often. But I don't know how good Shaheen is. I was only able to see a few of his amateur fights from like 6 years ago. He looked really good there. But,
amateur fights.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
6 years ago. But I mean, I think that the blueprint is there for how to beat Levy, and you've got to keep the pressure in his face and stay off the ground, which is easier said than done.
Interesting. All right, Christian, who do you got?
Shaheen Santana is actually someone that I've when I had my first amateur fight with Combat Night, we fought on the same card. He's fought on Titan a couple times as well. He fought recently on Global Legion. I would say he's a really crafty striker. He throws like these sneaky front kicks, sneaky spinning back fists. I would say he has probably some of the really deceiving ninja chokes, and he's really long for 155. And I agree the same with Aaron. I was watching some of Levy's fight. He does get hit a lot. And I think Shaheen, with the reach and things like that, I think Shaheen's going to cause him a lot of problems. He's going to hit him where I think he's just going to be able to have the reach and be able to touch him up. And I know Levy's going to be trying to wrestle. And I think Shaheen's a very good grappler. And I see Shaheen probably submitting him.
Okay. I don't mind that either. Ray Lugo was real close on a few key locks and Americana. I mean, they were locked in if he wasn't gassed. So Levy is very green, 5-0.
Sure. 48 hours notice. Even though, he maybe would be going up in weight at some point. I mean, he's not the biggest, 160 pounder. He's only 5'9". I know, like you guys are saying, that Levy wants to go in and grapple, but you're talking about a guy that kind of wants it. He's got 5 of his 6 wins are by submission, and 4 of his 5 amateur wins are also by submission.
And I will say this, that the only game plan for Levy on 48 hours notice is to grapple and then keep grappling. So if that gas tank is not where it needs to be and he has to keep grappling into the second round, putting his head in spots where really it can be choke, and also that reach with the striking. Honestly, this is a dog play I think would be a wise move. I just didn't have enough footage to see on Shaheen to make the move myself.
I agree. I think we're actually getting a decent price on a dog here. I'm still kind of baffled that we're getting a dog price on a guy that has a full camp going against somebody completely different, against a guy that's now moving up
He's had
in
a lot
weight.
of hype. It's a lot of hype on his name since he's been in LFA, since that
Really?
debut in LFA. Yeah, Levy's had a lot of hype between being an Israeli product, being a legit prospect, training over at Syndicate MMA since he's came over here. I mean, he's definitely LFA. There's a reason at 5-0 he's getting this opportunity, and that name recognition is getting pulled with regards to the odds here, in my opinion.
It's interesting. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really heard much about him until now.
I had heard quite a bit. I'm an LFA fan, but I mean, his debut was hyped up, and then he had a quick guillotine finish in his debut, and then had a couple longer fights here. But I mean, maybe because I think he's related to Noah Levy as well, former UFC fighter, and so that could be part of the hype as well. This name recognition gets you a long way, especially on Contender Series odds. We know
that's true. Absolutely. And then
this
plus,
is a spot where we can get a contender dog, I think.
And we had none last week, so a dog's got to come in somewhere in this card. A dog is definitely making its way on this card. It's got to happen. It might even happen in the featured bout as well. But let's get right into that fight. All right, we have a fight at what the hell? What the weight class? 185 is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have a fight at 185 pounds between Mario Souza and I don't know how to say his name. Marlus
Kovacevic.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's Kazakowicz or something like that.
You're not pronouncing a bunch of those consonants in there.
They don't got no consonants. I don't know what you're talking about.
We got the Polish power versus Souza.
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, we got another poll. Doing it for guys.
All right. Christian, who do you got in this fight?
From what I was watching about both guys, I was really impressed with Souza. I think the Polish power, I think he's a little I don't know. I feel like Souza's a little more explosive on the feet, and I think when Souza is on his back, he's very active. I was pretty impressed with Souza, and I think when I was watching the Polish power, I think he's pretty well rounded, but he's not really explosive anywhere. I would say he's just okay everywhere, and I would think Souza's just a more dangerous, explosive striker. And I think I was really impressed off his back how he was chaining arm bars, triangles, and he's really active. And he just looks like he's the more powerful, explosive guy. And I think I'm gonna have to lean towards Souza, probably like a second round finish, or maybe a decision.
And where are the odds on this, Garrett?
Right now, it's minus 120 for Souza and a plus 100 underdog spot for Marush. By the way, his name is the Iron Pole. That's
the Iron Pole. Okay. Well, I think that this is going to be a really, really good fight. I see these guys really, really matching up well against each other, and I don't see a finish. I honestly think this is probably going to be a decision. I think it's priced pretty closely. I lean Souza, but I think sometimes Souza can get a little bit comfortable in some situations that to judges may not look like he's winning. So whether that's maybe the Polish guy being able to, I'm sorry, I'm not able to pronounce his name. I'll learn it. But, it's like, if it's just
the Iron
him,
Pole, it's fine.
the Iron Pole being able to have the position against the cage a little bit, being the one who moves forward a little bit more, or if he is able to take him down. But I think if he's not going to look to take him down. And that's where I think Souza is going to be able to dictate the pace a little bit more. Souza has the better chance of finishing between the two of them. And I do think he'll end up looking better. So I'll take Souza by a decision. However, I don't see a finish. But if the Iron Pole maybe is stubborn enough to think to take him down, I could see Souza getting a submission from the guard. I really could. His guard is nasty. And he goes quick and often. I could see him landing elbows, if nothing else. I mean, he's legit, and he does look to be the bigger guy from the weigh-ins. So Souza, I feel like I've been hearing about this guy for a while too. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I've been hearing a little bit of hype on this name for a few years now. I could be wrong though, but I'll take Souza here. I do think a submission is possible, but I'll go decision.
All right. Yeah, interesting fight. I haven't really done much research, but I'm kind of doing it as we go along. Looking at the records, it's looking like the Iron Pole has fought the better of the competition. From other than fighting Alaska FC. Other than that, he's fought guys that at least have some type of wins. To their name. At least he fought a guy with 26 fights in his last fight. Souza's coming off a fight against a guy that only had 2 fights under his name. From what Tapology is telling me, that the Iron Pole actually used to fight at light heavyweight, and I think 2 fights ago or 3 fights ago, back in 2016. Now he's fighting at 185. I think he won 2. He's 2-0 at middleweight, so he's 6-0 at light heavyweight. He looks like should be 2 inches taller than Souza and should have the size advantage, I think, as well. But like I said, I didn't get to see the weigh-in, so you could be right in regards to that. But
he's at least taller. I'm not saying maybe bigger, but definitely taller. There's Chico, always making his presence known.
He always makes his debut every Tuesday and Thursday night.
Makes his debut.
Always makes his debut coming in. I'm actually trying to get some of these pictures up. I want to see the size difference that we're talking here. But if I'm just going based off what I'm looking at, I think it's a super evenly matched fight. Plus 100 on the dog. He's 8-0. I think he fought a little bit better of the competition. And he probably, if he keeps it standing, he probably has the more power on the feet. So I think I might just take a shot on the dog here, plus 100. But I know some of these dogs, wow, holy crap. I just saw the size difference in the Shaheen Santana and Nathan Levy fight.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a big size. That's a big size difference. I did not see that coming.
Yep.
And yeah, Souza actually does look like the bigger of the 2 fighters in terms of size and and height.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying as well.
I actually kind of like Souza just by basing it off of that, especially if he's a kind of a higher level grappler as well.
Definitely a higher level grappler.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, so I might have to actually swayed his way. I'm going with him. But yeah, this is a very up and down kind of contender series. It's really,
I agree. This is not my.
Go either way.
I think there's 3 contracts going out on Tuesday.
I think we might only see 1 if we don't get finishes, because Danny Sabatel is definitely getting a finish and he's getting a contract. I know that. Like he's right off the bat. To be honest, he shouldn't. I don't think he should even need to be on the Contender Series. But I'm a fan of his. I've been watching him for a while now, so I'm kind of a little biased. But yeah, they're giving him a tailor-made opponent there so he can look good. But the rest of this is just straight up pick'em fights. To be honest, it's either fighter can win. Really good.
Well, the reason I say 3 is that we've seen that Dana White is signing any female who wins a Contender Series fight. Literally any female who wins a Contender Series fight.
Who was the last female that got it? Who's the last female?
The one who got the decision win over Demopoulos.
Right.
Yeah.
The girl from England. Right.
Yeah, the 20-year-old. And it was a very lackluster decision. She got a contract. So Luana probably getting a contract. So there's 2 contracts in 2 of the first 3 fights. And I do believe, the more I think about it, I do believe that Souza gets a finish and wins.
Yeah, I could see that.
So that's 3.
Well, Shaheen too. He could probably sneak in there too if he gets a finish.
Yeah, and especially with a guy who has artificial name value in Levy, and he gets him on 48 hours notice.
Up a weight class. Well, up 15,
up and a half. Yeah, so,
15,
and that's an underdog. So yeah,
I really like that dog.
Yeah, I'll take any episode of Contender Series. So I'm looking forward to the fights here, and Christian, thank you for coming on, man. Doing a little breakdown with us. We always appreciate having you on. We're looking forward to seeing you in your next fight. What organization is it in again? You're fighting December.
It's gonna be Titan FC.
Still Titan FC. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So yeah, we'll definitely keep it on the radar. As soon as you know, we'll know, and we'll get the word out, and we'll be talking to you after your fight as well. But
brother. Yeah, thank you.
yeah, man, I'm always glad to be on here. I will have my laptop back not Thursday, but next Monday. So I get to do the phone fighter life for a whole hour on Thursday. So I'm really looking forward to that. My arm's gonna be tired.
Yeah, you're gonna be falling off.
Well, luckily, I just did my other podcast with my brother. Digesting Fargo. If you're watching the newest season of Fargo on FX, go ahead and give that a listen. But either way, So I've been holding this for like an hour and 20 minutes now, so I'm used to it. I got a groove now.
You need to get something just like lay it on. So just
I tried to figure it out. We'll see by Thursday. I know this is riveting podcast information here. But, yeah.
We'll get there.
Find me at Aaron Jay Brooks on Twitter. Find me here on Thursday. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say, Garrett.
All right, but Christian, man, thank you so much for coming on. You're loved here on the Fight Bananas and Inside the Distance podcast. You're always welcome. We definitely got to have you on before announcing your fight. Talk a little bit about what's going on and who you're going against and all that before your fight, and definitely got to come you on after as well. Before you go, shout out any sponsors or where people can find you on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
On Instagram, you guys can find me Christian with a CH _Y28. And my Facebook, my name is Christian Ynastrilla. I know I got probably one of the more complicated last names out there. So it's just YNASTRILLA. And then other than that, the main sponsor I want to give a shout out to is Cairo Fit Pines. I know, a lot of us sometimes, you probably need a little good alignment in our back or our necks or whatever it might be. So if you guys are anywhere in the Pembroke Pines or Miramar area, I definitely recommend you could check him out. You can find him on Instagram in Cairo Fit Pines. And I think, he's probably one of the better chiropractors out there. So if you guys got a chance, you should probably check him out. You're welcome to it.
All right. Appreciate that for that little tidbit of information. And guys, you guys know where to find me. Find me on at Fight Analyst on Twitter and The Fight Analyst on Instagram and Facebook. And head over to thefightanalyst.com. Get my picks now. We got a ton of plays already locked and loaded for this weekend. This is one of my favorite cards. There's so much money.
Paul Felder just got in.
I'm just like, I'm super stoked because it went from a grapple fuck fest with Islam Makhachev to that. I'm stoked.
Yep, it'll be great.
All right, guys. We'll see you Thursday night. We'll see you all cashing out at the ticket window. Until next time, you guys have a great night.